At the 10-over point, Sri Lanka had got Pakistan to 71 for 4, and everyone thought this is game on, but the Pakistani batters kept their cool, they were calm, and they got past that finish line. They won by 5 wickets and got these 2 points under their belt. Mohammad Nawaz with 38, Hussain Talat 32, and those 2 very crucial points. You're back at Cricbuzz Live, got Harsha and Rohan with me. Pakistan's going to be a very happy team because they've looked inward, they've stayed calm, and they've done what was required.
There was the odd flutter when they lost that middle order, which has been their bane right through this tournament. But that apart, they did almost everything right in this game. So they can feel fairly satisfied. Ideal scenario for them would have been to win this by 7 wickets with the number of overs left. But apart from that little flutter, they did everything right. Sri Lanka will be the one sitting back disappointed, thinking, could we have done anything different? I was just looking up the numbers. Hasaranga's 2 overs, 2 for 5.
Yeah.
He's taken off. He comes back, next 2 overs go for 22.
Yeah.
Chamira was 3 overs, 1 for 13. He comes back, concedes 18. It's almost as if when they came back for their second spells, they were doppelgangers bowling.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was someone else. And it's not just that they went for runs, they didn't bowl well.
Yeah.
I mean, Hasaranga looked like taking a wicket every ball and then suddenly comes back for a second spell. So, I mean, you got handed to someone like Hussain Talat and Nawaz. It was a very good partnership. So,
well, like you said,
deserving.
very
The
good
2 points are
partnership.
deserving.
But Rohan, we spoke about it in the com box as well. It looked like the first 10 overs, Sri Lanka had things under control.
Yeah.
And Karuna Ratne came and bowled that over and almost felt like that pressure.
Yeah, it's a release of pressure in that over, because that was that, around the 10 over mark was when those 4 wickets fell. There were 45 for no loss and then there was suddenly 70 for 4. So there was pressure building on the Pakistani batters. And then that 1 over and suddenly the pressure is released and you think, okay, listen, we're not that far away from the finishing line. Let's just bat sensibly. Let's just bat with a little bit of common sense and we'll get through.
Yes.
Now, look, it's a tricky one for a captain. Do you go with your, informed bowlers and finish their quota off, or do you think, okay, listen, let me keep them for towards the end, because I expect in this pressure situation someone to come in and bowl, sneak in a couple of quiet overs, because you're not expecting the batters to take too many risks. And that's why you've got to give credit to the Pakistani batters at that stage. They took that, chance. They had a good over, released the pressure. And after that, as Harsha said, when the bowlers came back, they looked like completely different bowlers.
It happens before. If you remember in that earlier match, India sneaked in an over from Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah.
In between, just sneaked an over up. Salman Agha got an over in. You were right, they were 45 for no loss. They're now 60 for 4.
Yeah.
So the captain's going to think, I can slip one of my spare overs in. So he comes in to bowl the 10th, Karuna Ratne, and he concedes 10. And
after that, it almost felt like it was another game altogether.
Yeah, because what happens is when there's so much pressure being built. Now, in a lot of T20 games, if you concede 10 runs, you're saying, okay, it's not a good over, but it's not a terrible over. But in the low-scoring game, when you're defending 133 and you've got the opposition on the mat, suddenly a 10-run over in other games is like an 18-run over, where you think, whoa, this is big. We've gone now, we've got a big 10-run over. Pressure is released. Now we can just, in terms of even the required run rate, it goes down a little bit. You can afford to take your time against the main wicket takers. You don't have to take too many risks. So the whole dynamics of that chase changes.
Talking about, sorry.
No, I saw Pakistan play against UAE and they seemed a stuttering side. Today I said, yeah, they did most things right. But their batting, I mean, once you got down to 133, they should never have given Sri Lanka a whiff.
Correct.
So I'm just looking at that and saying, what can India do when they play them in the final? Because I've been saying for a long time, you never write off Pakistan. I think it's still going to be an India-Pakistan final. What can India do right to create? Because India will not allow them to get away from that situation, the manner in which Sri Lanka allowed them to.
Well, I don't think there has been an India-Pakistan Asia Cup final in history. But talking about history, Pakistan will be so relieved with this pressure off their back, because they have lost to Sri Lanka the last 5 times. The last time they beat Sri Lanka in the T20I was way back in 2017. So all that will also play on their mind. So what does this victory mean to them?
I think relief is the right word, or it shouldn't be, because this is a game that they should have won. But relief, yes. You have to start looking at the positives. I thought Farhan got them off to a good start, but unfortunately for them, Fakhar certainly seemed out of rhythm. But I thought the bowling will be a big plus for them. Against a decent batting side, not a great batting side, but a decent batting side, yes, that was the benefit for them. And the fact that they're 6 and 7, when they had Aris coming in and then they had Nawaz coming in. So Nawaz might well go to Mike Kesson and say, what's my role here? Am I playing as a batter at number 7? Because he hasn't bowled in 2 games now. So that will be a big plus for them, that even though they were in a bit of trouble at 65 for 4, they were still able to pull it out.
I think the other positive for them is the form of Shaheen Shah Afridi.
The big one.
I think that's a big positive that they'll take out of this game. They'll be sitting in this dressing room. Look, I'm a firm believer that if you lose a game, when you're in that team environment, you're looking for positives when you lose a game. When you win a game, you're looking at areas to improve. Now, they'll be looking at areas to improve, and one of the big areas to improve will be that middle order. If you're looking at it. But also, you want to see some positives, and you say, okay, listen, Shaheen Shah's back in wicket-taking form, especially in that power play. And that's going to be a big factor in deciding matches when, teams come up against us. Because if you can get that early wickets, early breakthroughs, you put the opposition on the back foot. So I think that will be a big positive for them.
I think there'll also be a bit of relief for the captain and coach. I think Salman Agha must have been thinking, how much longer do I have my job? I mean, even if they had lost, they wouldn't have been out. They wouldn't have been looking at boarding passes, but they were checking flights. Because they were not out, but they were almost out. So certainly I'm sure Salman Agha is thinking, where do I go from here?
Well, Salman Agha, the batter is still going to be a little tense because he couldn't get going today. But the positive, like you said, if you look at the positives, the last game against India, the openers gave them that hope. Today, we saw the lower order giving them that hope. Now, they just need that middle batters to come and put their hands up when it's needed.
Sam Ayub's got another 2, so he's got, he's just about nudging 10 runs for the tournament. So they've got to take a call on whether he's valuable enough, that they back his talent and keep playing him, or whether they pick him as a bowler who will bat a little bit because his talent is undoubted. But I think they've got a little bit of problem there in the middle order.
So if you pick him as a bowler who bats a little bit,
where does he bat?
Does he go lower down the order?
I don't know. They batted Mohammad Haris at 3.
No, and you can't tell him to go lower down the order, because what that does is you're not losing wickets early up top. So there's less pressure on number 4, 5, 6. So if you're number 4, 5, 6, whoever you send gets off a partnership, number 4, 5, 6 are coming in the 9th, 10th, 11th over with the score, pretty healthy, haven't lost wickets. That helps you as a batter as well. So maybe
has he not been really tested lower down at all? He's someone who's always played up top.
I know, but now at the way he's playing at the moment, it's
don't want to place as a batter.
You can't. I mean, if he didn't bowl, you would say you'd have to drop him because he's not getting runs.
Yes. But Mohammad Nawaz, I think Pakistan will look back and feel like, all right, we are happy that he's come in his own, 38 of 24. And again, under tremendous pressure to get those runs says a lot.
He's a decent batter. I mentioned the game he played against India. The last time Pakistan beat India, he came in at number 4 and he got 40 of 22, 23 balls. So he can bat. There's no doubt he can bat. At the moment, because they have these bowling options, they're able to get by without him bowling. So, I mean, it helps to have those bowling options. But yeah, he bats well. And I think at that position, because he can play the big shots, he's quite valuable in that position.
Also, Hussain Talad, I feel today, he did well with the
player of the match for me, to be honest. He picked up those wickets, the way he came and batted under pressure. Very calm, collected, knew exactly what he had to do. None of that sort of desperation in his innings, because sometimes, when you're under pressure, there can be, you might still take the team across the line with a little bit of desperation, and you have a little bit of none of that. He was very cool, very calm, very collected, and in control of things out there.
You saw the looseness when Aris was batting. He played a very loose drive of Chamira. So to that extent, there's no doubt he's player of the match.
Also, that 6 to 10 phase was the only time where you felt like, Pakistan were not in control of things. When we have a look at that innings progression there, and that run rate is 6.60, which is all right. But even those 2 wickets in the 7 to 10 phase is what I was talking about.
And that is, if you remember, the phase where they've been struggling for a major part. The overall 7 to 15, they've got 56 for 3. Last time, I think, in India, they only got 30 or 40 odd runs. So they're struggling, in that phase. And that's why it's all the more important they get those starts. Because they don't get those starts, there's a little muddle in the middle.
Well, for Sri Lanka's bowling, Hasaranga, Tikshana, in the box at the 10-over point, it felt like they had everything going. They just couldn't read the googlies and felt like, all right, 4 more overs from them and things could be very different, but they just came
their line their line and length and their variety at that point was impeccable. They were hitting the right areas where they wanted to go. But as we said, up top on the show, had that break, came back on and looked like completely different bowlers.
Yes.
We saw Hasaranga come back, I think it was his last over, got hit for 4 in the first one, the next one down the leg side. So just completely off colour, and which is in a sense the beauty of T20 cricket.
Yes.
You're thinking changes so quickly, not just from a team point of view, but from an individual point of view. In one innings, your first 2 overs are top class, your next ones are not so good. And when you have a look at those figures overall, you're thinking, it's all right. It doesn't really paint the picture of how beautifully bowled in those first 2 overs of his.
Those 2 wickets and also those celebrations, it looked like he was getting everything right. He's going to run through the batting order. But with that Abrar celebration, and we could see that little exchange with also the television going on to Abrar. But then when he came back, it was too short.
Sometimes it's best to leave those celebrations for the end. I'm not saying that celebration caused the change in form. But sometimes it's best to leave it. You win and then maybe you can celebrate a little bit. But hang on, that had nothing to do with this. I just think he lost rhythm. Sometimes in these simple games that you play, I play a little bit of solitaire sometimes. If it's not going well, you can reset the game and restart and then try and do something different. I wonder if Asalanka had the reset button, whether they would have just gone through with Tikshana and Hasaranga, because you kept saying while we were watching, treat it as a 17-over game. Don't worry about the last 3 overs, where they should have just gone through with Hasaranga and Tikshana and tried to get a couple more wickets there and close the game there.
So when I say treat it as a 17-over game, I'm not saying the game's going to get over in 17 overs, but you've got to get the opposition on the mat so much in terms of wickets taken or the required run rate such that not your main bowlers, but still your bowlers can do the job against the tail enders. Normally they say you've got to save your best bowler for the 19th over, penultimate over. Here you have to save for earlier and then hope that, in the last 3 overs, they need 30. At 10 and over on that pitch with 2 wickets in hand. So you're asking your tail enders to go at 10 and over, which is a tough ask. That's what you want to go for.
It comes back to our pre-match conversation, right? Like that 6th bowler for Sri Lanka has been a little bit of an issue. So maybe it was Harsha just that again.
So they got in Karunaratne, that didn't work. They didn't go to Shanaka. Sometimes the ball is holding a little. Shanaka might be a good bowler, but they didn't trust him. The other day they trusted him to bowl a lot more. They didn't trust him at all. And I think Asalanka, if memory serves me right, used to be a more dependable bowler than he is now. He's erring in length a little too much. Even the last game, I think it was against Afghanistan, he kept erring in length, or was it against Bangladesh? I don't remember against who it was. So they're always short of a bowler. Even Chamira, I just wondered, like I said, if you said, let's finish off this game, he's bowled a magnificent over. It's very tempting to keep one Chamira over back for the end. Very tempting. So that's why I said, if it's reset, how would he have played it? And the second thing is, the easiest game to captain is when you're watching.
No, but watching it when it's over.
No, and this is what we spoke about. Would you want that extra bowler? Or would that extra batter have been more handy in today's game? When you scored only 130, with that extra batter, if that got to maybe 150, 155, would that have been more beneficial than having that extra bowler who's not bowling 4 overs?
Because with the 150 chase, they might have taken a chance a little earlier and might have lost a wicket there. Who knows? Who knows? But it was meant to be the better side one.
When we look back, it all feels like these ifs and buts. If this had happened, this would have been different. But for Sri Lanka, they look back and think of these ifs and buts because group stage, they came unbeaten. You felt like they're looking like a very strong team. And now suddenly the pieces are just not coming together.
I don't know what it is. They played really good cricket in the group phase. And I thought Sri Lanka and Afghanistan were the 2 better teams in that group. And both are gone.
I had Afghanistan the second best white ball team in Asia.
There you go. So I mean, Sri Lanka is not gone yet.
Yes, mathematically at least.
Yeah, I mean, for Sri Lanka to come to the final, on our guessing game, I'll have to go to the top. That's the same probability. But
well, you never say never, because again, Harsha, you were explaining, because it's a bit too complicated. So you were explaining this to me, is for Sri Lanka to still qualify, they need to win their remaining games.
So Sri Lanka have to beat India.
Yeah.
They've got one left.
Yes.
So Sri Lanka have got to beat India. Then you've got to find a situation where, say,
basically, we need to lose both our games from now on.
India need to lose both. Bangladesh need to beat Pakistan.
So Bangladesh go clearly through.
Bangladesh go through with 3 wins.
And then India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka tied on 2.
Tied on 1 win each. And then their net run rate has got to balloon. It's like saying my current inflation is 85%. I have to bring it down to 3%. But it's not impossible.
I mean, mathematically, some outside chance is the only way, but
so in a mathematics exam, you can say the probability of an event happening is 0.003 and get full marks for it. In real life, events with probability 0.003 hardly ever happen.
You know why I'm asking so much is because this particular IPL, everyone had written off RCB, and they said we actually did the mathematical calculation was 0.0006%. They have to win, and it happened. So
that was 2 IPLs ago?
Yes.
When they had to win 6-7 on the trot.
7 in a row.
And I think it was in their hands. At least it was in their hands. Yeah. They kept on winning. Here, it's not in Sri Lanka's hands now. There's 3 results that they do not control that have to happen.
So lots for Sri Lanka to pray for. But for Pakistan, they will go back feeling happier. They'll go back feeling confident, and they'll take that into the next.
In all probability, the Pakistan-Bangladesh game will be a shootout, a knockout game. In all probability, that will be a knockout game.
All right, still some time for that. We'll have a look at what's happening tomorrow, because, of course, every time India plays, it's an exciting day for all Indian fans. It's India versus Bangladesh. Lots of Bangladesh fans who will be cheering for Bangladesh as well. Match number 4 happening at Dubai. Rohan, India come into this game, of course, after that win against Pakistan. Do you see any changes? Because the top order was doing well. You want to probably see Sanju Samson where he goes, but any changes in the team?
I think we will see changes in one of the 2 games. I think if we win tomorrow's game, we should be in the finals. So I think we might see a change in the 3rd game that we play.
Against Sri Lanka.
Against Sri Lanka. But what I think will happen is we will want to make sure that we won the game, go into that 3rd game without any pressure. So I don't see changes happening in tomorrow's game. If you win tomorrow's game, then once you're in the final, then you can maybe rest Bumrah and the likes.
You know, Harsha, I don't remember saying this in I don't even know how many years. But as an Indian fan, you want to see Jasprit Bumrah get that rhythm back, because he's just seemed a little off color.
I want to see 2 things with the Indian team. Number 1, I want to see Jasprit Bumrah get back into rhythm, because if you have to play a team like Pakistan in the final, Bumrah in form creates a lot of trouble for the opposition. So I'd like to see Bumrah do really well. And my hope is that our players just focus on the game. There's been far too much happening around the game, and India's getting dragged into it as well. If Pakistan players want to be suggestive and it doesn't look good, you don't have to go and do it yourself. There've been too many tweets and all that going out. So I'd just like India to just stay away from all this. What has India done very well so far? They've been cold. They've given no hope. They've been cold. They've been emotionless. They've just gone about, done the job, gone back. And I just hope they're not getting distracted by all that is happening around in order to become social media heroes. Let that be. Just go and win. That's the best thing to do. So those are my 2 wishes for India in the next few days.
Well, they are the only unbeaten side so far. We'll have a look at that squad. Like you all said, probably no changes in for tomorrow's game. Another thing besides Bumrah is I think we'd want to see Sky get going as well, because he didn't play against Oman the last game. He didn't really get going. So want to see Surya Kumar Yadav in the midst of runs.
Absolutely, because we all know what a unbelievable player Sky is in this format. So the thing is, when you've got Sky in full form and Jasprit Bumrah in full form, that drives a little bit of fear in the opponents, because you're thinking, wow, Sky in full form, 12 and over is gettable for this team. Jasprit Bumrah in full form, they can defend 115 if India needs to defend. So that is what you want. You've got these 2 players who have rightfully so over their past performances created this impression upon others that, look, while we're at the crease, we're these X-factor players, these match winners who can do, miracles in this game. So that's exactly why you want. We said the same about Shaheen Shah Afridi. The fact that when he's bowling well, Pakistan are doing well. So it's the same with Sky and Jasprit.
Also then for Bangladesh, finally Hridoy won hearts because he got the runs that were long overdue for him. They'd want him to come. They'd want the openers also to do well. Any changes for them, you think, Harsha?
They change their openers sometimes. But last game, Saif Hassan got runs.
Yes.
So that's good. He's a youngster who's played, then gone back. I read I think he wasn't even picked in one of the Bangladesh Premier League teams. Then he's come back. So Saif Hassan has done well. And Tanzid, so Saif and Tanzid, maybe they'll open there. So probably they won't play him on again. Unless there's a question mark, I've been reading there's a question mark over the captain. But Tawhid Hridoy coming good in that middle order, that number 4 position is a huge thing for them. And they'll want him to convert this potential that he's got into producing a good performance on a big day. So you watch and see if they can do that.
Well, Litton isn't ruled out, but he had that injury, so we will find out after he goes to the test. Do you think they'd want to get in an extra spinner instead?
So you've got to get Parvez. I'd get Parvez in.
In case Litton is not playing.
Yeah, in case Litton is not playing. In place of Litton, I'd get Parvez in because, again, there's a stat which says amongst the Bangladeshi batters, he's one of the few who's striking at 150. So you've got to have him in the side and hope he has a good game. Because if he has a good game, goes at 150, that's his, average strike rate over the last, bit. So you want him to fire, because if he fires, then he puts you in a position where, the rest of your batters can come and manage what they have to do.
Well, the last time India and Bangladesh played each other, India scored that 297 when Sanju Samson got that 100. Bangladesh, of course, will want to forget this, but Sanju Samson will want to remember it. And 16-1 head-to-head is what the record is. Your players to watch out.
Such different conditions, though. That was in Hyderabad, right?
Yes, it was in Hyderabad.
I think that was in Hyderabad, where Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma go and generally have a buffet and come back.
Yes.
Well, I just want to say, I don't remember what happened 3 days ago, so for you to ask me if that was in Hyderabad, I was just happy she answered.
But he can remember what happened in 1822.
Yeah.
So, it's Harsha.
Was that a sledge?
Not a sledge.
No, it was a bit of a sledge, saying that you were
around.
Yeah. I got it. It was a bit of a sledge.
No sledge at all.
These youngsters today have no.
Tell you.
Yeah.
No, I can't fathom how he does this, because he remembers numbers from.
I only tell you what I remember. You have no idea what I don't remember.
Well,
but that just goes to show how much you've forgotten is more than what we remember.
That's what it is.
My player to watch out for, Fizz. If the track holds that, because he started to bowl well again. He went through a phase where he wasn't bowling that well, so he started to bowl well. They're not picking that bowler I like, man. Tanzim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good bowler. They're not picking Tanzim because they've gone back to Taskin.
Yes,
and they've picked Shoreful, who's got a little bit of swing about him. So I think the Fizz is my player to watch out for.
And from India,
Sky. For the reasons that you mentioned.
Yes.
For the reason that you mentioned. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jakar Ali because he's one of the players who puts his hands up when they're in trouble. When they're in trouble, they've lost a few wickets. He's the one who comes and steadies the ship. He's the one who comes and, gets runs, make sure they're competitive. So I'm going to go with Jakar. And from India, I'm going to go with Abhishek Sharma once again.
So Abhishek, it is for you.
Yeah.
Then. I am actually wanting to go with Naseem Ahmed because Dubai
spin, you think?
Spin. So maybe Naseem Ahmed for him. And for India, I'd like to see Shubman get a big one. We saw him get those runs and cramp up.
So would I, because I had him as my one of
player to watch,
top
scorers.
Him and Varun were
my... Actually, I had Shubman and Varun too, but my player to watch out for suddenly got the curse on him. I had Patum Nisanka as my surprise player.
Oh, he's done well.
But he did well. The last 2 games hasn't been really firing. But someone who has been firing has been the both of you with the joy factor, because you all got it right away.
Yeah.
And you're playing the poker face, not giving the answer, but when
I got a hint.
Getting it.
I'll be honest, I got it after getting the hint. So
you still got it.
Very clever question.
quick look at the question and then we'll get to the answer. I was involved in 3 World Cup finals and my retirement coincided with the debut of 2 future India captains. Who am I?
Well, the reason I got it this time round was a very tricky question, but there's been a slight, I've cracked a pattern. There's been a slight pattern in the joy factor questions in the Asia Cup, which have been very topical. Something or the other has happened on that day. So going by that, unfortunately, Dickie Bird passed away today. So our condolences, to his family. But the answer was Dickie Bird.
Actually, I did that. I was covering that game. His last test match. Dickie Bird's last test match.
I was watching it. I was at Lord's.
Yeah.
I was at Lord's. It was the debut of Saurav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid. I was at Lord's watching it with Amol Muzumdar. So Amol Muzumdar and me, we went to watch the Lord's test match. And it was great. It was just a wonderful day out.
It was the first time ESPN was covering cricket from overseas. So we do
so much more
we do a little 3-4 minute pre-show, and then there was a guard of honor for Dickie Bird coming out. He was an eccentric person, nice man, but an eccentric man who never gave LBWs. He was a not-outer as an umpire. And he must have had the odd tear because he gave Michael Atherton LBW to Srinath, either in the first over or the third over. In the first over, he gave Srinath Atherton LBW and went back. Many years later, I did a sit-down interview with Dickie Bird. He came late, which is very unusual, and he came all flustered and he said, I'm not going to do this and whatever. And I had to sit down and tell him, you're very popular in India, people really want to know what this is about, and really make him feel good. And then once he sat down to do the interview, it was brilliant. It was at Headingley, I think. We used to do a sort of interview-based program on ESPN those days.
So this question gave us a lot of trivia around Dickie Bird. Like Rohan said, condolences to the family. Besides Harsha and Rohan, let's have a look at who got the answer correct and quickly. Prateek Prasad has gotten this correctly. Well done, Prateek. I'm sure this was a very easy one for you. If we got it in the studio, I'm sure it was very easy for you, but well done. And I also have...
Hang on. There's one jinx that was broken today. Because Rohan keeps saying...
You can't do both together.
You can't do both.
He had to say it. Once he said it, then it happens. That's
so
what
all 3 of us got it right.
Yeah, we
got,
just another day at work for the 2 of you.
No.
A seriously big day for me.
Well done. Let's clap.
Yeah, let's give each other a round of applause.
Round of applause. There's one man who's not going to be applauding. We'll just have a look at that scorecard, that prediction table. And Murli Karthik still above you.
Almost there.
Almost there. But I know that Karthik's up watching this game. Rohan's really climbed up quickly there.
Yeah.
The message for Karthik is that you must fight your way up. You can't remain up by not being there. Come on, Karthik, come on.
He's not going to fall for the sledging, but Karthik's very competitive and he's really competing with you. He's saying, I can't be at Harsha's level in the prediction game is what he was telling us. So you have to be wary the next few days when you're coming in to make sure that you get one in every...
Just keep that 50% going.
Yes. And Rohan's doing it coolly. He's doing it coolly.
I'm done now.
Can't go
so you can't go down anymore?
I can't go down anymore. 33.33.
How many more with you?
You've got a few.
I think.
Okay, so I've gotten...
Can we see that table again?
Saying if
I know it's a bit self-indulgent.
42.85.
So apparently if she gets it all wrong, she'll come... Everyone wrong, she'll still get to 33.
Oh, how's that?
Ooh.
Is that right?
Someone's worked it out and told me in my ear. I'm not pretending to be...
Oh, so if she gets every... So she'll still be 33.
She still wins.
No, joint.
A joint win. I don't mind a joint win.
I don't mind a joint win.
I don't mind a joint
win. So just get everything wrong and let's just, let's get a joint win.
All right.
My favorite player in this is Dinesh Karthik.
Oh, but he can come back strong.
Is he off the mark?
No.
He's not off the mark. All right, DK, that's for you then. You have to get off the mark. We know you're a strong player. He will be coming in. Rohan, thank you very, very much. Just a lot of fun. Harsha, always thank you so much.
Back tomorrow? Later today?
Later today is not going to be me, but I will see you day after tomorrow.
You're probably you're going to run 70 kilometers or something?
No, I go and film for my film which is going on and then try and run. But Manish will be joining everyone tomorrow along with Harsha, and then a surprise. So do come in to see that surprise at 7:30 tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and goodbye.